पुलकित जी को अनम्यूट करो।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर जी, साचन स्पर्श।
पुलकित जी नमस्कार।
सर जी साचन स्पर्श, गुड आफ्टरनून।
सर।
गुड आफ्टरनून दिव्यांश जी, गुड आफ्टरनून ब्रजलाली जी, and everyone, good afternoon and welcome.
कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज असेसमेंट कोलैबोरेशन रिसर्च एंड पब्लिकेशन थीम पर चल रही फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के आज अंतिम दिन, जो कि 7वां दिन है। आप सभी लोगों का हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन है। सभी को नमस्कार। मोहम्मद अली जौहर विश्वविद्यालय रामपुर और स्वामी सुखदेवानंद महाविद्यालय शाहजहांपुर के संयुक्त रूप से आयोजित की जाने वाली 7 दिवसीय फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम में एक बार पुनः आपका हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन है। और हम लोग, पुलकित जी आपको बताएंगे, आज हम लोग एक और प्लान कर रहे हैं एफडीपी का, जो जुलाई माह में संभवतः की जाएगी। आप लोग उसमें भी ज्वाइन करिएगा। सभी लोग अपने सेशन को हम लोग जल्दी शुरू कर रहे हैं। 3 बज गया है, तो अधिक समय ना लेते हुए, क्योंकि आज अंतिम दिवस से हमारे कुछ और प्रोग्राम भी, वैलिडिटी सेशन भी करना है, तो मैं ब्रजलाली जी को अनुरोध करता हूँ वो कार्यक्रम को शुरू करें। ब्रजलाली।
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. I cordially welcome you all on behalf of Mohammad Ali Jauhar University, Rampur, India, and Swami Shivadevanand Postgraduate College, Shahjahanpur, India, in this international one-week faculty development program on contemporary issues, assessment, collaboration, research, and publication. This international FDP program, today we have this last day of the program, and this was wonderful session conducted by our respected guest speakers, and we were very thankful to the chairman, vice principal, principal sir for this program. Before wasting much more time, I would like to request to please play the video song of Mohammad Ali Jauhar University, Rampur.
मरकज, प्यार मोहब्बत का मरकज, शान मुवद्दत का मरकज। मैं तंजीमे आज़म हूँ, तारीकी में नूर हूँ मैं, इल्म अदब की हूर हूँ मैं, तारीकी में नूर हूँ मैं, इल्म अदब की हूर हूँ मैं तस्वीर तहरीके आज़म हूँ, मैं तहरीके आज़म हूँ, मैं तहरीके आज़म हूँ, मैं तहरीके आज़म हूँ। इल्म अदब का महवर हूँ, इल्म अदब का महवर हूँ, मुस्तक़बिल की रहब शान मुवद्दत का मरकज़, प्यार मोहब्बत का मरकज़, शान मुवद्दत का मरकज़। मैं तंज़ीमे आज़म हूँ, तारीकी में नूर हूँ मैं, इल्म अदब की हूर हूँ मैं, तारीकी में नूर हूँ मैं, इल्म अदब की हूर हूँ मैं तस्वीर आज़म।
Such a wonderful song this is. Now, our today's session of this international FDP is on publishing research paper in international journals by Professor Zaid Ahmad Ansari, sir, from Saudi Arabia. And today we have with us as session coordinators Dr. Ahmad Abdul Rahman, Muhammad Kaleem, and Afsar Ahmad, sir. Now, to introduce our guest and for the welcome speech, I would like to invite Dr. Ahmad Abdul Rahman, sir, Assistant Professor in Bio and Chemistry in Muhammad Ali Johar University, Rampur.
अनम्यूट कर दीजिए अहमद साहब को।
Dr. Ahmad, sir.
Ahmed sir, unmute yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Am I audible?
यस
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Okay, may I start now?
जी।
Honorable Vice Chancellor of Muhammad Ali Johar University, Professor Sultan Muhammad Khan, convener of this program, Dr. Anurag Agarwal, Head Department of Commerce, Swami Sukhdevanand PG College, Shahjahanpur, co-convener Dr. Gulrez Nizami, Dean in charge, Sir Syed Faculty of Science, Muhammad Ali Johar University, Organizing Secretary, Dr. Pulkit Agarwal, Head Department of Commerce, Muhammad Ali Johar University, Co-Organizing Secretary, Mr. Intikhab Nadeem, Head Department of Management, Muhammad Ali Johar University, all faculty members, dignitaries, experts, participants, and guests. Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. It is a moment of great privilege and honor for me to extend a heartily welcome to you all today to the inaugural session of the last day of the 7-day International Faculty Development Program on Contemporary Issues, Assessment, Collaboration, Research and Publication. Myself, Dr. Ahmad Abdul Rahman, Head Department of Biochemistry, Muhammad Ali Johar University. I extend a warm welcome to you all present over here on behalf of Muhammad Ali Johar University, Rampur and SSPG College, Shahjahanpur, India. Before moving forward, I would like to introduce you to the resource person of our today's session. It is an honor for me and I feel proud and privileged to welcome and introduce you to our today's special guest and resource person, respected Professor Zaid Ahmad Ansari. Dr. Zaid Ahmad Ansari is a professor of marketing. Presently, he is director of graduate programs at College of Business and Economics, Qasim University, Saudi Arabia. Professor Ansari is PhD in Commerce from Aligarh Muslim University, India, and postdoctorate from Tohoku University of Community Service and Science, Japan. He has also done Train the Trainers program from Greenwich University, UK. As a professor, his teaching and research interests are in the fields of marketing, consumer behavior, and digital marketing. He has worked on various sponsored research projects. He has published research papers in several peer-reviewed international journals and presented papers in international conferences. Besides teaching and research, he has good experience in administration, accreditation, and community services. Thank you very much, sir, for being a part of this faculty development program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is really an honor for me.
You are welcome, sir. Over to Lali, ma'am.
Lali?
Yes, sir.
गेस्ट को इनवाइट करिए, रिसोर्स पर्सन को हमारे इनवाइट करिए आज.
Now, I warmly welcome our today's session guest, Professor Dr. Zaid Ahmed Ansari, sir, from Saudi Arabia, to deliver her speech on our today's session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is really an honor for me. It is my pleasure to be with all of you, dear Dr. Anurag and other distinguished faculty members that I see on the screen. It is really an honor for me to be part of this International Faculty Development Program. And I really thank you all for inviting me, giving me this opportunity to share some of my views, some of my ideas, some of my experience regarding publishing research papers in quality international journals. So we will be talking about this today. So before I start, I think I need to share the screen first. Let me see. I hope it is available to all now, right?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, fine. Now in this, I want to I want the screen to be enlarged.
Press F5.
No, by that it will come. No, it will not come.
Press F5.
One second, please.
F5 on your keyboard.
I think it is there, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Now see, actually, there is a little bit change in this topic, little adjustment. What I proposed was publishing research papers in international journals. Then somehow I came up with the idea through discussions, through pondering, that actually it is not publishing in only international journals. The challenges, the topic should be publishing papers in quality academic journals across the globe. Let it be, even if it is look in your host country, let's say if you are publishing even in India, if it is a quality journal, it is valued, right? So from that perspective, if I adjusted the topic little bit, so I take that privilege and for this adjustment of the topic. To begin with, you know, the biggest challenge for any academician, I think I have 1 hour to go. So we'll try to follow the timings, inshallah. And we will try to ponder little bit how to go for the publishing papers in international journals. This is the main issue here. Now see, before at the outset, I just want to make it clear that I'm not going to deliberate. I'm not going to talk something very technical, because what my assumption is, mainly being in PhD research scholar, completing PhD with the experience, we somehow know what actually how to write the research paper. I assume this. Now, the challenge that I personally felt, and that the questions that I get from my colleagues, from my students, that how to target the international journals. Now, all through all these deliberations, discussions, what we realize is there is something missing in terms of understanding what actually a quality journal is. What are the parameters so that we can say, we can decide, we can conclude that, okay, the journal we are targeting is a good journal, and then how to publish the papers in those journals. These are the two main things that I am going to deliberate today, inshallah. Now, moving forward further, This presentation is mainly intended for the management students, fresh PhD holders, lecturers, assistant professors, and anyone else who is planning to publish a research paper in quality journal, quality international journals. At the end of this session, the participants along with me would be able to understand at least first thing, what is a quality journal? What are the parameters? How can we say that whether it is a good journal or no? There are certain parameters that we need to see. And then what are the parameters itself to decide a quality journal? And then how to write a research paper for the identified journal. So these are the three objectives of this session. What is a quality journal, identifying parameters for identifying a quality journal, and writing a research paper for a quality journal. Now, this is the most important slide of my presentation. Trust me, the most important slide of my presentation. We have to be determined, we have to understand that for sure there is no shortcut for writing a quality research paper. In 1 day, 2 day, by hook and crook, by this way, that way, by collaboration, actually there is no shortcut, because it is a set of steps, a complete procedure that we need to follow if we are planning to publish a paper in a good quality journal. So make sure, be determined that yes, we are ready for the challenge. So we should make sure, we should understand, we should convince ourselves that there is no shortcut for writing a quality research paper. With this intention, with this motive, with this motivation, with this interest, enthusiasm, only we can publish the paper. Otherwise, really it is tough. On the other hand, it becomes very easy and a routine matter, trust me. So the first question that we will address in this presentation is, what is a quality academic journal? How we will see? What are the parameters in this? So I have identified 3 parameters to say whether the journal is a quality journal or it is not. Now, those 3 identified parameters are, I hope I am audible to all, right? Dr. Pulkit, just confirm that it is okay. Dr. Agarwal.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So, in this case, I have identified 3 parameters to say, to check, to judge whether a journal is a quality journal or not a quality journal. I will give you the examples also here. Clear-cut examples, inshallah, so that we understand the whole concept. Now, number 1 is publisher of the journal. Who is publishing this journal? The quality, the image, the credibility of the publisher itself matters for the journal. I will share the names now. Who are those quality publishers? The second most important thing to judge, to check a journal is its indexing, in which database it has been indexed, where it has been registered. Third factor for identifying the journal or classifying the journal as a quality journal is the impact factor of the journal. So these parameters I have chosen to classify the journal, whether it is a quality journal or it is not a quality journal. Some of the very popular publishers, they publish not only journals, they publish other materials as well. They publish books and other things as well, case studies. So some of the names, very popular names in the publishing of journals are Elsevier, Emerald Group, Taylor and Francis, Sage Publication, Springer, Routledge, John Wiley and Sons. And there are some more, few more, like Indoscience and others we need to identify. Not only these, many global universities, they have their own publishing houses also. They publish the journals. So based on who the publisher is, we will decide criteria number 1, who is the publisher of the journal? Will be the first criteria to classify the journal as a quality journal or not. The second is, okay, now beside the first one, these are the renowned. No one has any doubt, no one questions their credibility, these publishers. I will give you name of some more publishers. Let's say Services for Science and Education, United Kingdom, they are publishers in, they publish journals. They have around lots of journals, even they do have. International Knowledge Sharing Platform, the Canadian Center for Science and Education. Now, I'm not going to say whether they are good quality or not. This is not my point. My point only is to differentiate who the good quality they are recognized and whom you need to be careful if you are really targeting for credibility. Even these journals, they are publishing papers. They have their peer review process. But trust me, the moment like this, there are n number of publishers who are publishing journals. Now the point is, if you are going for these publishers, trust me, no one is going to question you. The moment if you move from these to others for XYZ reason, I'm not talking about those reasons, we'll discuss later on, hopefully, if we get time. But for any reason you are compromising on the publisher, then trust me, your publication can be questioned anytime in terms of quality, in terms of credibility, in terms of promotion for, I mean, anything. The reason is I will share coming in the coming session. So first point as a researcher that we need to be careful is who is the publisher? What is the credibility of the publisher itself? If the publisher is renowned, credible, worth, popular, and they have criteria that you need to check, based on those things, you will decide the journal in which you are going to. The first thing is the publisher. Now, after that comes the indexing of the journals. Now, these journals, you know, all the journals, or not all, most of the journals, they are registered with some databases. And now these databases itself, they have been classified, whether they are good databases or not good databases. If your journal, the paper, the journal in which you have published your paper, it is part of the good indexing, your paper will be considered to be a good quality paper. Trust me. For example, we all know about these. For example, Scopus. Scopus is a database which has more than 5,000. It has, I missed the number, but it has lots of journals with them in all the disciplines: science, management, physics, all the disciplines. So the second criteria that we need to be careful when we are selecting our research journal is where the journal is indexed. Some of the globally, I'm telling globally accepted indexes are Scopus, and the second most or the first or second, we don't know, but they are comparable. Like Thomson Reuters, they are also a database. They have information, Institute for Scientific Information, ISI. They have database of journals where they rate the journals. Are you getting my point? So Scopus and Thomson Reuters, they are the two most credible databases across the globe. If your paper appears to be in these two, trust me, your paper will be on the first hand, it will be classified as a quality journal. There is another third which is ABDC, Australian Business Deans Council's database. Now, there is one thing that we need to be a little bit cautious and careful. Some of the databases may be recognized in separate countries. Different countries, they have different ratings also. Like, for example, if I quote, for example, Thomson Reuters in our Saudi Arabia, in my university, that is rated as #1 indexing. After that comes the Scopus. And they are saying if you are publishing your research paper in the Q1 journals of Thomson Reuters, if you are publishing a research paper in Q1, I will discuss what is Q1, Q2. Q1 journal of Thomson Reuters, they are paying you 25,000 riyals, which equals to almost, let's say, 5 lakh rupees for one publication. And if you are publishing your paper in Scopus Index, they are paying you for one Q1 journal 15,000 riyals plus promotion is there. 15,000 means, let's say, approximately 3 lakh rupees for one paper. Publishing one paper can give you what, and not only in Saudi Arabia, even in India, in IIMs and big premier institutes, they are paying as high as 15 lakh rupees for one publication. Trust me, find out about this information. Now, the question is how to target them, how to publish in these journals. Now, there are other databases also, like Google Scholar is a database, and there are many more, EBSCO, ProQuest, and many others are there. I will discuss them. Now, indexing makes the journal accessible to wide group of researchers. So the first one is the publisher, the second one is the indexing of the journals. I'm not going to talk about them. I just wanted to give you examples of the databases across the globe. See, all these, they are databases. Not only one page, you can have the list on 2 pages, and this is not the exhaustive. I mean, this is not all. There are many more databases across the globe. Now, the challenge is when you are for the journals, they get registered. Some of them, they are local for specific countries. Now, the challenge here is that when we are identifying, we are checking the indexes, which index shall we go? What I know from my personal experience, Web of Science, now it is Clarivate Web of Science, Scopus, ABDC, these are some of the most popular and credible, recognized, famous, popular indexes, databases. If you are publishing a research paper in a journal which is indexed in these, you are publishing a good research paper in a good journal. I hope the points are clear. Now, the third point that I want to discuss here is impact factors. Now, I just want to bring one more point here in this. You know, this Institute of Scientific Information, trust me, beware of I will not call them frauds, but you know, the copycats. The short form for Institute of Scientific Information is ISI journals. There is another database copycatted the same name, similar short form, that is International Scientific Information, something like that. So the short form will be same, ISI, but the meaning is huge difference is there, trust me. So people are copycatting. We have to be very careful. Some of my friends got trapped in this, you know. They published in ISI journals when they applied for the payment and other points. They came to know that it is not the original one. It is not Thomson of Reuters. It is a fraud one. So we need to work on what for our publications. Number third is impact factor. In the first place, we need to understand the meaning of the impact factor and who gives the impact factor. The impact factor is the measure of the frequency with which the average article in a journal has been cited in a particular year. It is used to measure the importance or rank of a journal by calculating the time its articles are cited. Now, this is another measure for calculating the credibility and the importance of the journal. If people like, use, share the articles of the journal, it means the journal is credible journal. It is an important journal. And more people use means they more cite it. Higher the citation level, the impact factor will be higher, and high the impact factor means a good quality journal. Now again, here we have to be very careful. I will show you one and then we'll go back. See, to most of the reliable, trustworthy impact factors which is globally recognized and accepted is JCR, that is Journal Citation Report by Thomson Reuters. I just mentioned they are the databases, they are database and they are in citation business. I mean, they cite the journal also. They evaluate it on a given parameter. After that, they say whether the journal, what is the impact factor of the journal. The second one is SCImago Journal Report. We call it as short form is SJR for Scopus journals. Now, these two are the most trustworthy and accepted impact factor globally. If you have an impact factor from these, your publication is good. If not, then again the question arises. And apart from, see, there is always a two side of everything. There is a community which is for the business, they are for profit making, and there is another community in the same business who is for the quality. So we need to understand there will always be a group where we will have a group which is focusing on focusing on the profit, and I will show you some examples also. So make sure that the journal you have identified, it has either JCR, that is Journal Citation Report by Thomson Reuters, or it has a SCImago Journal Report for Scopus and Scopus journals. Then it is valued, it is credible, it is acceptable. It will be, you will not be questioned for the quality of your publication. So these two are globally accepted by most of all the institutions. Now, coming to the next point. Now, you know, I will show you one example also how what actually they do. I told you just a few minutes back that in our university, if anyone, any doctor, any faculty member publishes a paper in Q1 journal, the university just for publishing in Q1 journal gives 25,000 reals as a stipend, as a I mean benefit of publishing in Q1 journal. And Q2, Q3, Q4 they have different rates for publishing. Mind it, this is apart from the salary, and this is also important for your promotion. So if you are publishing in these journals, we are getting money, we are getting recognition, we are getting promotion. So how to know whether they are Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4? We don't need to do anything. This JCR and SJR, they have their own list of journals on their websites. Try to find out, you will get it. And they have classified clearly what the journal is. Say, in this, they are saying this CAA Cancer Journal of Clinicians, it is a 88.192 impact factor, SGR impact factor, and this is a Q1 journal. So like this, as we go down, the impact factor decreases, the impact factor of the journal also goes down, and their rating also goes down. It goes down from Q1 to Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And mind it that there can also be journals which has no impact factor, but still it is indexed in Scopus and Thomson Reuters. They are good, but somehow they are not being used or not being cited too much. Therefore, they don't attract impact factors, but they are still good journals. I hope till here the point that I'm trying to say is clear, and it is very clear to all, inshallah. So based on these the discussions that we have gone through, now okay, let me give a comparison here. JCR, SJR, I told that they are the most popular, most credible and globally accepted impact factors. Besides that, there are other impact factors also. SJIF, IC value, they give as high, for one of my paper, it was around, I remember 80 or 90 IC value. Then later on I came to know, I realized that, oh, it has no value for me. It is not being recognized. Everywhere it is being questioned. Now, this is why I am saying, never ever just follow impact factor. Not only impact factor, you have to see what impact factor. Who is the manager of the impact factor, whether they are Journal Citation Report, Thomson Reuters, Scopus, or they are from other agencies who are in this business of providing impact factor for the journals. So SGIF, IC value, GIF, these are three I have taken just to show an example, but like this there are many more, trust me. So don't go for these. I will not recommend, because even if you have impact factor and things, you may be questioned anytime, because they have their own limitations. Like above, there are many more. Okay, so now one more point I missed to point out here, that some of the journals, really credible journals, very good journals, you will find them in both of these. They have the impact factor for JCR, they have the impact factor for SGR also. So it is also possible, and it is accepted, it is acceptable. In fact, it is adding to the value. Now, based on the discussions till now, before we come to the conclusion of this part, I just want to share this slide. Have a look at this. An example of a journal advertisement. Is this journal a quality journal? What was the, when you open their web page, if you web page of this journal, for of course ethical reasons, I am not mentioning the name of the journal, but you see, and these journals, trust me, they have ISSN number and everything needed. Now their advertisement says last date for paper submission, it is open, no problem in this. Read the second sentence. I have copied this. I have not edited anything here. Copied this advertisement from the site of the journal. Acceptance notification within 4 to 6 days from the date of manuscript submission. 4 to 6 days. How attractive it is. And then they have also given the date of publication is November 28. And this advertisement was in November itself on the website. So everything is decided. Maybe you did not notice, or if you have noticed, I just want to bring your point here, your attention to this point. Did you notice the second sentence? It says acceptance notification. These people even didn't bother to say review results in 6 days. At least say you will give the review results in 6 days. Are you getting my point? They are clearly saying, and trust me, find out a journal, submit your paper, you will get the acceptance within a week. Trust me. So these people even didn't bother. I was laughing at them. I felt like laughing at them, you know. They didn't even bother to say review results in 4 to 6 days. Maybe it is accepted, it is not accepted. It is accepted after revision. There can be many options. But these people even didn't bother. They are just interested in maybe some dollars, maybe $100, $50, 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees. Give them and they will publish for you within a month. And now, if you publish in these, see, these journals, they are known to everyone, to good researchers. I will share you some ideas here, and then you will realize how the researchers are going on globally, how the good researchers are working. I hope till here it is clear. Now, just to conclude the discussion till here, to identify, to decide whether a journal is a good journal or to publish our paper in a good journal, we need to take care of 3 things. Number 1 is the publisher. Do a good research about the publisher itself. Then check the index of the journal, where it has been indexed. It is ISI journal, it is a Scopus journal, Thomson Reuters, or it is a Scopus. And then check the impact factor. And in the impact factor, check whether it is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Based on this background information, we will be in a position to decide which journal we are targeting, where we want to send our paper. I hope, I wish that till here it is clear to all of us, hopefully. Now, coming to the second part of the presentation, this is about deciding, making a research, deciding about the journal, whether we are really targeting a good journal or we are targeting a substandard, not accepted journal. Now, this is generally the question which most of the researchers and young researchers, I will say, and the students, they ask, how much time? How much time to publish? Now, see, this is a very, subjective question, but there is a sequence, there is a logic in this. Maybe when you start doing all the homeworks that we are discussing here, from beginning till here, and writing a research paper, it may take 1 to 2 or maybe up to 3 years. But don't get nervous, trust me. I am giving you flexibility, 1 to 3 years. But if we are consistent, it will be there. But for sure, the second paper will be faster. The second paper will be less than 2 years. And third paper will even be more faster. And then it will be a normal routine activity. Trust me, it goes like this. So mostly the good journals, they take time 6 months to 1 year to more than 1 year, some of them. But there are cases, I will tell you, where they have directly accepted the papers. You have submitted, same day they have said, okay, the paper, very good journals. Now, why they say, they accept directly or why not, we will decide and discuss in the coming part. But don't get nervous. Let us not get nervous. Our target is recognition, promotion, knowledge. So we have to be patient. Patience is the key here. I told you in the beginning, the first most important slide of my presentation is there is no shortcut for quality publication. To publish a research paper in quality journal, so we have to be patient. This is so it may start now. After that, I can give you the examples. If I get time, I will show you the websites of those researchers. They have started publishing papers, and once they started publishing, trust me, in 1 year they are publishing like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 papers in good quality journals, and they are minting money. I will say they are earning 2 to 3 lakhs even in India for these publications per paper. I can give you the examples. I will show you if I get time. Okay. Now after this, the second part of the presentation starts, which says writing a research paper for quality journal. This is another very important. Now we have understood what is a quality journal. Then now we need to understand how to write a research paper for these quality journals. Is there any methodology, specific thing that we need to do? Yes, we need to be organized. What it takes. Now, I will not go into too much detail of these things, given the paucity of time, but there are certain things that I just want to see. I want to say. Now, the papers that we write, it can be of any of these categories. There are some more, like research discussion is another name for the publications. Book review is there, but generally it will be some of this. Research articles. Research articles can be empirical research article, empirical data based, review articles, literature based, research notes, short communication, letters. These are some of the different types of publications that you can do in good journal. They accepted. Now, when you have decided about the journal, good journal, where you want to publish, now some of the publishers, they have this journal metrics. They give the details of the journal. Now they try to help us till the last, they try to help us till the last so that we can publish our journal. They also want good papers to publish, Therefore, they have all these facilities. Explore the websites of the publishers like Elsevier, Sage, Springer, Taylor and Francis, and all others. Now it says that journal metrics help you to select the most appropriate journal for your article. Use journal metrics along. I will just show the slide. See, when you have your paper ready, you are looking for a journal. So what you can do is go to the publisher. They have a system of suggesting journals for your given article and keywords. Topic. Enter the topic of the enter the topic of the research that you have done, and maybe they will ask you keywords of your paper. Enter and find. They will give you a list of journals which could be your possible target, which could be matching to your target title. I hope it is clear. So now just have a look at this. You will get the impact factor. The most important thing that here is that how much time they take to publish. They take the review, editorial review, it takes 9 weeks, 7 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, and then it takes around production time. See, editorial time and then production time. Now, if you want to, from this you will come to know how fast you can publish your paper. So according to your requirement, whether you are targeting extremely high, quality paper, which may take, not necessarily, which may take high production time and more editorial time. Like this one takes Land and Use, it takes 9 weeks. Other takes 7 weeks, up to 5 weeks. And all these are good journals published by Elsevier. Based on this, okay. Here is the key. This is the key for publication of the journal. If I will try to share one site here. I wish I get it. It is there with me. I just want to scroll it very fast so that we come to know what is that. Okay. See, this is submission guidelines of journal. Trust me, we researchers generally make a mistake of not going through this. This is the Bible of your publication, Quran of your publication, and trust me, it is a Gita of your publication. Try to read this word by word in great detail. This will help you to design your research paper, to format your research paper, develop the contents of your paper. I will read 1 or 2 points from this, not more. See, everything is given here. I just want to read. This is a Q1 journal published by Sage. Now, I will read this for you just to make sure that what we are thinking sometime and what the journals are expecting. Now, Journal of Marketing manuscripts are judged not only on depth and scope, read this, of the ideas presented and their contribution to the field, but also on whether they can be read and understood. This is the first key point that I want to bring to all. Readers have varied backgrounds. Thus, the following guidelines should be followed. Number 1, write in an interesting, readable manner. Readability is very important. With varied sentence structure and use active voice, use a little passive voice. This is very clear. Now, readable is the first key point here. Second is again very important, which I feel that sometimes there is a contradiction what we think and what the journals are expecting from us. Avoid, it clearly says, avoid technical terms that few readers are likely to understand. What I feel is, at least when I was a researcher, young researcher in the beginning of my career, I was focusing that I don't know the technical terms, I may not be this and that. No, they need very clear and simple things. The last, not the least, keep sentences short. And they have given the reason also, so the reader does not get lost before the end of a sentence. And after that, I have just shown you, after doing all the homeworks, scroll it clearly, scroll it, read it step by step. You can even download it. The title should not exceed 25 words. Clear-cut guidelines. The abstract is limited to 175 words and summarizes the key components of the manuscript, offering the reader a sample of the manuscript. Very important. Keywords are again. So after that, I will not go. I am not going to read. I am just trying to say what they are expecting from us. Follow them. Don't force yourself on them that you have done something, they should accept it. No. There is a standard, there is something that we need to follow. After this, we'll return back to the slides. Okay. So this is something that I wanted to show, and I showed you. After there are like this, all the good publishers, they have given you clear-cut guidelines, step by step, what you need to do, what they are expecting. Okay. Research ethics. This is again very important. Plagiarism is very important presently because of the availability of the data digitally across the globe. The focus is on plagiarism. And the best part is that it can be detected easily. It can be detected. So don't try to never ever think that those people publishing those researchers, those people, they are working behind us in the editorial of the journals. They are smarter than us. So let us not try to be honest as much as you can and follow the guidelines. There is way and method where you can manage the plagiarism. There is a rule that we need to follow, and up to a certain limit, different journals, they have different standards. Some of them say they 13% plagiarism is acceptable. It is a independent topic to have a complete lecture on this. So I am just trying to tell you that do not try to copy. Just don't try to copy. Do not submit to more than one journal. Never ever do this. Do not publish a paper which is already published. Don't think of that. Challenge yourself. Okay. Very important. Very important. Why? This is the main reason, trust me, where the journal, the papers even don't cross the first level. They are rejected on the desk by the junior editors, by the research, editorial associates, assistants. What is that? I told you, read in detail the guidelines about the journal in which you are targeting. There has to be a fit between the title and the scope of the journal. This is the main reason. I will share you some of the rejection letters in the coming slides, that why these papers are rejected. Main and the first reason which for which the papers are rejected is there is no match between the scope of the journal and the scope and aims of the paper. There has to be. So therefore I am saying understand the journal first and understand your paper as well. Close your eyes, think over it. What is the main aim of the paper? What is the scope of your paper? Who is the target audience? What you want to conclude? After the end of the paper, it should be clear cut there in your mind, in our mind, let's say. And then based on this, the paper aim should be directly matched with the scope of the paper. The second important point they are looking for is originality and novelty. Actually, these topics, they are a big topic, large enough to be discussed in detail over a complete lectures, of 1 hour. But anyhow, these are some of the, whenever you are trying to do something, I will try to guide how to make the paper novel, or what are the steps we need to follow. Now, when you submit your paper, what are the options? What are the results of the review results that we may get? Number one is rejected directly, and this is most of the time, and we get nervous and depressed. It should not be like that. You will come to know that it is not the problem in our paper. Our papers are good. We have done a good work, trust me. But the only thing is, after writing the paper, we are not daring, we are not ready to explore the journals where we need to match the scope of our aim of the aims, objectives, and scope of our paper and the scope of the journal. They are clear what they are going to publish, and because of that, they are known for that, So they are not going to compromise on that. So therefore, the first option is rejected. The second option is major revisions and resubmission. No, a caution is needed here. In this case, it may be resubmitted, but it is not a guarantee of accepted. That okay, after resubmission it is going to be accepted. It is not a guarantee. And they clearly mention, I will share one of the rejection letters. Accepted, but minor recommendations, changes. Accepted as it is. So all these four possibilities are there, and we have to see the worst thing that we as a researcher do is the moment we are rejected for XYZ reason, we start blaming our research paper. Never ever do that, never ever do that, never ever do that. Trust me. The fault is not in the paper. The fault may be in our approach in targeting the journal. Where we are, what journal we are targeting. After that, this is an example, just to deliberate, just to show. See, this is direct rejection. Situation 1, rejected by the associate editor without being sent for review. Your paper has not been sent for review. Since it has not been sent for review, how can we say that it is not a good paper? The paper has not been judged. What has been judged? Let us see. Let me read it out. First two sentences. I have now had the opportunity to read your paper and decided not to send it for review. I understand that this may come as a disappointment. My decision is not necessarily based on quality of work, but it's fit with the aims and philosophy of the journal. There is misfit. The same is with the second also. The same is with the second also. It says that, in my opinion, your paper is not suitable for this journal. Why? Because it is out of the main scope. The scope of the journal and the aim of the paper are not matching. Second one, fast. This is another. I will just read the highlighted points. Paper requires substantive revision and resubmission for another review. And then it says, please understand that JTR is not making any commitment at this stage to accept the manuscript. It's okay. They will review your paper again after you have inculcated the suggestions. These are some of the comments of the authors given for one of the paper. I would like to read it one by one fast. Clear aims and contributions of the study should be presented in abstract, because the abstract is the door. It is the reflection of the entire paper. So therefore, it has to be very clear. Some of the words like expand the destination branding in the literature review, try to cite more, updated references. These things, whether it has been given for some other paper, even then we can take help from this, Pages 5 and 7, why is the investment discussed? Strictly follow the style and format of the journal, and then strictly follow the style and format of the journal. Create the methodology to provide substantial information on how the data collecting, I want to read this slowly, to provide substantial information on how the data collecting activities were conducted. We generally avoid or miss or ignore writing about this. It says when, where, how, and by whom the field survey was done. How were the respondents selected in both the pilot and the main studies? Why was this paper divided into study 1 and study 2 if the study has been done in 2 parts? The study should clearly focus now. The main theme as it currently is distracting. If you notice the comments, nothing is undoable. Nothing is, undoable. Whatever they are asking, what I feel is ignorance on the part of the researcher. It reflects the ignorance on the part of the researcher. So if we seriously follow, inshallah, we will get through it. Based on this, up to here comes then when we are writing, we have done all those preliminary homework. Why the things? Now we start writing the paper. What are the contents of the papers? Title of the paper, abstract and keywords, introduction, review of literature, methodology, results and discussions, managerial implications. These are the general contents of the paper, when we write for any journal. Now, I want to discuss this in detail. The first two slides. After that, it is, I mean, the repetitive things. Number one, the question that generally the research scholars, students ask us. I'm talking about the research scholars and students, not about the senior professionals, but it will help even to us. Now, one thing that most of the researchers, young researchers especially, they're missing is they are not clear about their idea. I mean, area of research. In which area? If they are, it is very good. First step is done. They are clear with their ideas. They are clear with their area of interest. In which area they want to do the research. This is the first step. The second step, third and fourth. Second, third and fourth. We as a researchers generally don't do that. But I strongly recommend that we should do this. Now, in your area, based on the first part of the discussion, journals, impact factor, publisher, identify and shortlist the most popular journals in the identified area. Identify, shortlist popular journals in the identified area. What are the journals? For example, I'm in marketing. The first thing comes to my mind is Journal of Marketing, published by Sage Publications and by AMA, American Marketing Association. I should have knowledge about this marketing journal. Now, the second step is review the published topics for at least last 5 years. Trust me. See, in the identified journal, in the last 5 years, don't go in detail. Just look at the topics. What are the topics being published? Because this will give you guidelines what you can publish in this journal. And try to monitor the trend in the publication. Is there any shift in the topics? Maybe it was earlier it was marketing theories. Now it has shifted to, let's say, models, or maybe it has moved towards the digital marketing because of the change. It is possible. So we have to follow the trend in the publications. Review the published topics for at least 5 years in the identified journals. Make a list for yourself. It is not a science. Let's say make a list of top 5 journals in your identified area, and for these 5 journals, make a review of the topics for the 5 years what they have published. What is the shift there? And then the next step is very, very important, which says that identify the shortlisted topics related to your area of interest. We have seen what is the research interest area of the researcher, what are the most popular journals in this area, and then what is the publication trend in these identified journals, and then see then your area and the topics which is related, which is matching to your area. Download those papers, take those papers, and there starts the last part, which is read these articles. There is absolutely no other way to do. Trust me, we have to do that. Now it says that so identify the journals, the topics they are publishing, and then identify and shortlist the topics, download those topics, and then read these articles. Trust me, if you follow the above steps, trust me, if the above steps are followed, a researcher can get many topics and ideas what to do. Now, I told you the time period is, in the first paper it may take 2 to 3 years, just correlated. For the first paper, it will take 2 to 3 years because you are building the base. Once the base is clear, everything becomes repetitive then you don't need to do it in such a detail, so much detail. You know the journals, you know the topics they are publishing, you know your topic, download the articles. And the second part of finding the research topic is very important. The second part is, I'm not able to, now I think I'm almost coming
Yes,
to the end
yes,
of my
sir.
session.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, fine. Now,
Okay.
finding a research topic. The first thing is about these five steps. After that, the next part says that where to get what are the sources. See, they are publishing, but they also have some motivation. They also have some background. They also have some, I mean, a guide for selecting the topics. For example, very relevant topic right now is, open any publisher. On the first page, you will find that it says the papers related to COVID-19. Because the current scenario, researches are done for providing some solutions. Now the current situation is about the COVID-19 coronavirus. So therefore, they are saying the same way. So from where we draw those ideas? In management, what I believe is, whatever we do, whatever a researcher does, whatever the business managers do, everything depends on the macro environment, everything. Now, the same way our topics that we are, our area and the topics that we will be researching will come from the newspapers, lots of articles. I will give you some example. I was reading the Forbes magazine. It says that, they said it may be in 1930s, it was Great Depression. This could be Greater Depression, a new terminology. Another article about marketing, it says that the new normal of the market, new normal of the market, new terminology came. So these ideas give us input, what we have to work. Now, previous concepts, models, and theories. In your area, there is no point of saying, I don't know. You have to know if you want to be a recognized researcher, if you want to be an expert in your area. So what are the previous old, generally we call it is old theories and new theories, or old concepts and new concepts. We should be aware of all the concepts. Make a list of all those concepts, models, theories, whatever it is. Make a list of, and then evaluate these models, theories, concept in the continuous changing environment, macro environment. They are changing economic situation, technological advancement, social and cultural environment, government rules and regulations, laws, rules and regulations. These things will tell you what we have to research, because journals are committed to provide solutions to the managers and managers. Therefore, they need to, managers, and provide new ideas, new theories, new concepts to the academicians. Therefore, we need to continuously follow these technological advancement. It is going to be boom. What I assume from the current scenario is the era of robots is going to come very soon. Artificial intelligence role is going to enhance like anything in the coming time. So from here we have to see how the artificial intelligence is going to change the consumer behavior. Like this, the topics will come up. After this, now these are some of the general things that I just wanted to discuss. I think I have finished. I have taken 1 hour time, and I will share the slides. Rest of the things are very, repetitive, that we all as a researcher, we do this. So you have to talk about your abstract. I told you it is a reflection of the entire paper. It has to be very clear. Many times after reading the abstract, the editors, they decide whether to accept or not to accept. Keywords, these are the important words that identify your research. Now, when you are writing introduction, now only one point that I want to tell here is when you are writing anything in your research paper except your results, try to give as much citation as possible for every sentence that you take. That shows that your research is based on a sound background study, literature review. Then comes the literature review. This is the heart of the paper. This is the heart of the paper. Based on this, we decide our research methodology, we decide our objective, we decide our, the questionnaire, everything depends on this. The best we do this, the best we get. While discussing to one of my professor, who happened to be my mentor also, he simply said one sentence, Zaid, remember one thing, garbage in, garbage out. So if you put garbage, garbage will come out. So therefore we need to be careful. We should not put garbage in our research paper. Otherwise the result is going to be garbage. Ignorance, avoidance, these things are not going to work. We should own every sentence that we write in our paper. In methodology, again, it is we are being taught in great detail, so I'm not going to deliberate on this. Also, the time is not there. So you mentioned just the type of research, how you collect your data, how you analyze, and I showed you that one of the rejection was because of this, and they were expecting and asking for great detail how the data was collected. Any tools, for example, if you have used a questionnaire, so explain that also. Result is just presenting the information. When we talk about the discussions, we describe the results. This is again very important aspect where we need to take help of the previous existing knowledge. What I will read this now. Interpret results in light of what was already known about the subject. Explain new understanding of the problem after taking results into consideration. Explain how the results answer the question under study. And then the implication, what is the use of this findings of this research. The implications can be of two types. It can be theoretical implications, which says how this research is contributing to the existing literature. And then the second could be managerial implications, how this research is useful to the industry. So based on this, references, it can be Harvard style, it can be APA style, it can be anything. But the most important thing is don't follow your apprehensions, follow the, I showed you the guidelines of the, the guidelines of submission, guidelines for authors. Follow the referencing style of the journal, not your. And this is all from me. I just tried to manage the lecture in 1 hour. I tried my level best, and this is all from me. I hope if there are any questions or discussions, if you allow, it is up to you. I'm open to anything. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Firstly, I would like to request the host for the question answer session to please unmute the participants. And
Yes,
I'm requesting the
already
other
unmuted.
participants. I'm requesting the other participants, please mute yourself if you are not asking the question.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Haider, I can hear you.
Thank you, sir. So a very heartiest welcome for your lecture, and
so
good
much.
afternoon.
Thank
Sir, I want to I sought a clarification from you regarding the avoidance of the technical words. Sir, whether the avoidance of technical words must be in totality or it is permissible up to a certain limit.
See, Mr. Haider, there is a point. Maybe you have another question, but I just want to answer this first. You know, trust me, each journal, they have their own requirement. Are you getting my point? Yes. So therefore, and the objective of the journals of these researchers are the general masses. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
These two backgrounds, if you see, it is always advisable to write as simple as possible, as clear as possible. Then the second part is try to follow the instructions of the journal. If the journal is clearly saying that it should be readable and try to avoid technical word, avoid it.
Okay.
I hope it's clear. And if you think
Go.
it is not avoidable, if it
Oh,
is
yes.
not avoidable, in that case, always explain the term in parenthesis.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Good evening,
Hello.
sir. Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Yes, please.
Can
Good
you
evening,
hear me?
sir. Kindly tell me the APA style of writing references.
No, actually, in this session, I can't tell, about the, I'm sorry, but this is a whole topic that we need to discuss. But generally, it is about the author name, and then you have to mention the year, and then the topic
Okay.
and the journal, generally. Otherwise, APA style, Harvard style, and there are many other ways of, referencing. But the best thing I advise and suggest is that go to the guidelines of the journals. Even in APA style, the journals, they don't ask you for APA style generally. What they say is, for clarity of the references, they have given clear examples that I want you to write the references in this form. For example, I will give you some example. Like some of the journals, they say in citation, write the name of the author and the year of publication. Two things. Some of the journals, they say the author, year and page number. But there is another journal also which says that write number 1, 2, 3, that's it. They don't want the name in the citation. Are you getting my point? So we need to get out of this, that what I'm no one. What I want is the journal accept my paper, right? So therefore we have to follow their guidelines.
But sir, in short, please tell me about APA style when we are going to publish a chapter in a book.
Okay.
Then how to write? Just tell me, please.
Okay. Now, in that case, what happens is, write the name of the surname of the author first. Like I am Zaid Ahmed Ansari, right?
Yeah.
So it will be written as Ansari, comma, Z dot A dot, in parentheses, you will write the year in which the paper was published.
Okay.
So, and then after that, you will put a comma, and then inverted comma, title of the paper, inverted comma close, and then it will be the name of the journal in which it has been published.
Sir, page number will be given here after that.
Page number will be given after the name of the journal. It will be given. You will mention the number of the journal also, volume number, issue number, and then page. I hope it's clear, inshallah. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really amazing and brilliant session and presentation by you. You have really clarified the points regarding the research journals. Okay, now since we are having very few time, now I would like to end up our session for the valedictory session of our 1-week international FDP program. For this welcome speech, I would like to invite Ms. Rabia Khan, Head Department of English in Muhammad Ali Johar University, Rampur, for the welcome speech in valedictory session. Ms. Rabia, ma'am.
Am I audible, Brijlali?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rabia Khan from Department of English, Muhammad Ali Johar University, Rampur, India. I feel highly privileged and honored to extend a very warm welcome to all of you who are present here on the 7th and final day of this International Faculty Development Program. So far, the journey has really been wonderful as we got an opportunity to listen to different speakers from 7 different countries of the world. Every ending is the welcome address of starting to the new. With this note, I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor of Muhammad Ali Johar University, Rampur, India, for his address. Sir, you are welcome for your address. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Sultan Muhammad Khan is a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, and I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Sultan Muhammad Khan, for the welcome address.
Hello.
Hello, welcome, sir.
Now, all the dignitaries, our guests, our organizers, convener, and all the participants present here, very good afternoon to all of you. Now, as we know, now we have come to the end of this session, and we are here in the valedictory session of the program. Now, as you all know that this was an international faculty development program organized by the Department of Commerce, Muhammad Ali Jawhar University, in collaboration with SSPG College, Shahjahanpur, on the title Contemporary Issues, Assessment, Collaboration, Research, and Publication. Now, normally, the purpose of an FDP is to educate the faculty, to enhance their knowledge, to update their know-how through lectures, presentations by the experts in the respective fields. The experts present their latest research findings and scope for future work. The faculty interested in research work or further studies gain a lot from such programs. This knowledge also helps them improve their teaching skills, which ultimately benefits the students, which is the main objective of a teacher. The experts in this program have done a good job, have done a wonderful job, have presented very valuable and knowledgeable information throughout the program, in which all the 7 days we had experts from 7 different countries, and they were the experts from their fields. They have given their experiences, their research findings, and enhanced the knowledge of all the participants. Thus, I feel that this faculty development program has definitely served the purpose, which has been really useful and beneficial to all the participants. Now, this program has been, successful because of the persons who have been enrolled here. That is our guest speakers, Dr. Fernand Epoch, Professor Ermal Bino, Professor Rajneesh Ratna, Professor Suresh Chadha, Professor Muhammad Habibul Islam, Dr. Zaid Ahmed Khan, and Dr. Shad Ahmed Khan, Dr. Zaid Ahmed Ansari, and Dr. Shad Ahmed Khan. I really am thankful to all these experts, guest speakers, who really accepted our invitation and gave a very wonderful experience and the presentation. I'm also thankful to Dr. A.K. Mishra, Principal SSPG College, Shahjahanpur, who has accepted our invitation to be the guest of honor today in this session. Now, very special thanks to Dr. Anurag Agarwal, HOD Department of Commerce, SSPG College, Shahjahanpur, who has really been the main source behind this whole program. Of course, along with Dr. Pulkit Agarwal. I also thank our conveners and co-conveners, Dr. Gulesh Nizami, Professor Rajesh Yadav, and of course, Dr. Pulkit Agarwal, the organizing secretary. Also, all other members who have really made this program wonderful. They are Dr. Ahmed Abdul Rahman, Mr. Muhammad Kaleem, Mr. Afsar Ahmed, Mr. Rabia Khan, Mr. Muhammad Ali Khan, Mr. Nami Ali, Mr. Ittihad Alam, and of course, the organizing secretary, Dr. Pulkit Agarwal. There are persons who have really worked behind the scene also. I'm perhaps not able to mention their names here. But of course, I'm thankful to all of you who have made this program very success. Now, I'll especially thank Dr. Pulkit Agarwal, who has always been taking pains in organizing such programs. And of course, this international faculty development program has been a very successful of his efforts. Now, with this, I hope and pray that we always will be having such programs in future, which are going to benefit our participants, our faculty, and everybody in future. By chance, this is an achievement here during this present situation, that such program we used to have when physically. These programs were not easy to hold, like organized, but through online presentations and this webinars types of activities, it has been very fortunate that we have been able to connect to people throughout the world very easily and get the information, get the knowledge, and have the knowledge through online, which is actually an achievement of the situation. With these few words, I once again thank everybody who has been involved in this program. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, on behalf of Muhammad Ali Jauhar University, I would like to invite respected Dr. A.K. Mishra, sir, who is the principal of SSPG College, to address the audience. Dr. A.K. Mishra, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, sir, you
Hello.
are audible, very much audible.
Thank you, Ms. Rabia Khan.
Welcome, sir. A very warm welcome to you.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of Muhammad Ali Jauhar University, Rampur, and the key speaker of today, Dr. Jahid Ahmed Ansari, sir. With the co-associates with Muhammad Ali Jauhar University and SSPG College, organize this faculty development program for the 7 days. Undoubtedly, after COVID-19, the online programs, webinars, Google Classroom have taken vast boom everywhere. The resource persons, those who enlightened us why their knowledge to our participants, research scholars, academicians of this area, be as an organizer thankful to him, and definitely they updated and given an advanced system, technique, knowledge, information to our participants. All the dignitaries, those who are attending this faculty development program, I would like to say, whole of the study, whole of the teaching process comes in 3 only questions. It starts from the problem. We have to make the analyze and we find some findings. In basic educations, The basic questions are there, basic analysis is there, and the teacher, faculty, and others are giving the best solution for that. In advanced studies, in higher studies, the problem, we make a different type of analysis and we goes for the solution or findings. Why this, the step between the problem finding and solutions, we always took a technological upgradation every time. COVID-19 forced for the such type of faculty development program. Undoubtedly, faculty development program is a need of every teacher, every faculty, because due to that, we not only increase the knowledge, we not only update it, we not only advance, but we learn something, the system of communication from others. Definitely, contemporary issues, assessment, collaboration, and research and publications, very important EFDB, because faculty of different subjects, they are writing, they are sketching, they are thinking, but they are unable to present in different journals, at least international journals. The system, how to be published, how they have to take the association for that, how they have to choose a path to, for that they have to be get publication of their own, because for the development, personal development as well as organizational development, this is the need. As well as once we have to be according, whenever we see that how the COVID have given a force to that online system, the synonymous and asynchronous system of asynchronous system, e-contents, all the apps, all the portals, and whenever we comes in a synchronous system, webinar, seminar, Zoom classes, 365 hours, and all other things, definitely both together, whenever comes, it is just an tools. This is just an equipment. Once we can say, in other words, this is like a pen. And whatever the thinking, whatever the brain, whatever the knowledge, whatever the data, whatever the information, be shared by these equipments, these tools that come in elaborating form. If such type of gathering and such nice FD have be in present form, we have to be organized, and some expensive system should be there. This is just a benefit by the online system. We are organizing, we are organizing such type of FDP. मैं सभी प्रतिभागी जो इसमें भाग लिए हैं, भारत के बाहर के विभिन्न रिसोर्स पर्सन्स जिन्होंने अपनी योग्यता के आधार पर हम सबको लाभान्वित किया है, हम उन सबको हृदय से बहुत अधिक आभार प्रदान करते हैं। बेसिकली फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से हम समस्या के साथ उसके विश्लेषण और उसके समाधान की ओर पहुंचने का एक सार्थक प्रयास हम इस FDP के माध्यम से करने का प्रयास किया था। हमारे साथ मोहम्मद अली जौहर यूनिवर्सिटी रामपुर ने जो बृहद सहयोग प्रदान किया है, उसके लिए हम विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद हैं। डॉक्टर अनुराग अग्रवाल जो हमारे कॉलेज के एक इनोवेटिव फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं, डॉक्टर पुलकित अग्रवाल जो कि उनके कंटेम्प्रेरी पार्ट्स रहे हैं और जो इस समय इस FDP प्रोग्राम के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी हैं, और अन्य सभी मित्र जो इस FDP प्रोग्राम के अंतर्गत अपनी क्षमताओं के अंतर्गत अपनी नवोन्मेषी दृष्टिकोण से, अपने इनोवेटिव थॉट से, अपनी नॉलेज और स्किल के आधार पर हम सबको सहयोग प्रदान कर रहे थे, उनके लिए एक विशेष रूप से मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। और साथ ही साथ इसमें प्रतिभाग करने वाले हमारे सभी साथी, सभी एकेडमिशियन, हमारे सभी मित्र, सभी शोधार्थी, उनको भी मैं हृदय से आभार प्रदान करता हूँ, थैंक्स कहता हूँ कि उन्होंने अपने एक समय का, एक कोविड-19 के कारण जो हम बंद से हैं, उस स्थितियों के अंतर्गत अपने समय का प्रॉपर बेस्ट यूटिलाइजेशन किया। थैंक यू वंस अगेन। I am very much thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Sultan Muhammad Khan sir, as well as I am thankful to Jahid Ahmad Ansari by his enlightened lectures. We have got a lot of insight vision for the publication, and they have guided us how we can help to for the international public for such type of publications. Now I would like to now Dr. Anurag Agarwal,
Thank you.
the organizer, is there.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra sir, for being here with us today. Now I would like to invite Dr. Anurag Agarwal sir, who has really been very supportive during this whole International Faculty Development Program, to address the audience. Welcome, Dr. Agarwal sir.
मोहम्मद अली जौहर विश्वविद्यालय रामपुर के ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर प्रोफेसर सुल्तान मोहम्मद खान साहब, प्रो वाइस चांसलर तंजीम फातिमा जी, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर डॉक्टर अकबर मसूद साहब और इस एफडीपी के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी एवं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स के हेड डॉक्टर पुलकित अग्रवाल साहब, मैं एसएस कॉलेज शाहजहांपुर की ओर से आप सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि आपने एक इंटरनेशनल एफडीपी में हमको कोलैबोरेशन करने का अवसर प्रदान किया। मैं अपने महाविद्यालय के प्राचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर ए.के. मिश्रा साहब का भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, तो उन्होंने इस कोलैबोरेशन को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए मुझे परमिशन दी। ये कोलैबोरेशन केवल दो इंस्टीट्यूट के बीच में नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक यूनिवर्सिटी और एक महाविद्यालय ने कोलैबोरेशन कर लिया। वास्तव में ये कोलैबोरेशन भारत की गंगा और यमुना की तहजीब का कोलैबोरेशन भी है, क्योंकि एक तरफ मोहम्मद अली जौहर यूनिवर्सिटी है और एक तरफ स्वामी सुखदेवानंद जो मोक्ष आश्रम में स्थित है उनका महाविद्यालय है। ये कोलैबोरेशन बाय नेचर भी है, क्योंकि एक तरफ रामपुर में मोहम्मद अली जौहर निवास कर रहे हैं और एक तरफ शाहजहांपुर में स्वामी सुखदेवानंद निवास कर रहे हैं। इस प्राकृतिक, इस ईश्वरीय कोलैबोरेशन को हम लोग आगे और बढ़ाते रहें, चलाते रहें, ऐसा मेरा विश्वास है, ऐसी मेरी कामना है। हम शिक्षक लोगों के बारे में कहा जाता है कि हम लोग शिक्षा का, प्रकाश का स्तंभ होते हैं। हमारे प्रकाश की क्षमता, हमारी पावर, हमारी बैटरी चार्ज होती रहे, तभी हम लोगों को आगे और अधिक प्रकाशित कर सकते हैं। इसलिए शिक्षकों के लिए एफडीपी प्रोग्राम डेवलप किए जाते हैं, बनाए जाते हैं। ऐसा ही एक प्रयास पुलकित जी ने अपने वाइस चांसलर साहब के आशीर्वाद से और मैंने अपने प्रिंसिपल साहब के आशीर्वाद से करने का प्रयास किया था। मुझको लगता है हम लोग कुछ नया देने में सफल रहे हैं। 7 देशों के 7 विद्वानों ने अलग अलग प्रकार से अपनी बात कही है। ये कहा जाता है कि सप्त सरोवर का जल एक जगह इकट्ठा हो गया है, एक ऐसा संगम बन गया है शिक्षा का, जहाँ 7 देशों से आने वाली शिक्षा और ज्ञान की धारा आकर के मिल गई है। और इस धारा में 1500 से अधिक प्रतिभागियों ने स्नान किया है। उन सभी प्रतिभागियों का मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं और उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं कि निरंतर 7 दिन तक हमसे जुड़े रहे। 7 जो रिसोर्स पर्सन रहे उनके नाम हमारे वीसी साहब ले चुके हैं। इन 7 सेशन में 22 कोऑर्डिनेटर रहे, उन सबके नाम भी वीसी साहब ले चुके हैं। इसलिए समय के अभाव को ध्यान में रखते हुए उन नामों को मैं दोहरा नहीं रहा हूँ। लेकिन इस पूरे वेबिनार, इस पूरे एफडीपी में कुछ लोगों ने पर्दे के पीछे से भी हमारा सहयोग किया और कुछ लोगों ने एंकर के रूप में भी हमारा सहयोग किया, जिसमें मुख्य रूप से डॉक्टर अभिजीत मिश्रा, जागृति गुप्ता, ब्रजलाली और टेक्निकल असिस्टेंट्स के रूप में हमको सहायता दी दिव्यांश मिश्रा ने। और इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को जो कुछ भी किया गया हाईलाइट करने का काम किया पत्रकार बंधुओं ने। मैं जनपद शाहजहांपुर और जनपद रामपुर दोनों के पत्रकार बंधुओं का आभारी हूँ, तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से इसको हाईलाइट किया। और न केवल प्रिंट मीडिया में अपितु इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में भी इसको चलाया गया और यूट्यूब पर भी चलाया गया, टीवी पे भी चलाया गया। सभी प्रकार के पत्रकार भाइयों का मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अर्पित करता हूं और प्रतिभागियों को मैं पुनः धन्यवाद अर्पित करता हूं कि वो लगातार हमसे जुड़े रहे। और उनको मैं ये भी आश्वस्त करता हूं कि हम लोगों का यह संयोजन, मोहम्मद अली जौहर विश्वविद्यालय और स्वामी सुखदेवानंद महाविद्यालय का यह संयोजन आपके लिए, छात्रों के लिए कुछ ना कुछ नया लाने का निरंतर प्रयास करता रहेगा। और हो सकता है जुलाई में हम लोग एक बार फिर मिलकर के कुछ नया करने का प्रयास करें। अपने इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हुए, आभार ज्ञापित करते हुए अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Agarwal sir, for being a great help and to be here with us today. Yeah, it is really true that we are poles apart, yet we united for the same cause. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Pulkit Agarwal, Head of the Department, Commerce, Muhammad Ali Jauhar University, Rampur, India, for his vote of thanks speech. Welcome, Dr. Pulkit Agarwal. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah, very much audible.
Honorable Chancellor and Chief Patron Muhammad Azam Khan sir, Honorable Co-Chief Patron and Vice Chancellor Professor Sultan Muhammad Khan sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Madam Professor Tanjeem Fatma Madam, respected Principal Sir Dr. A.K. Mishra sir, and respected Administrative Officer Mr. Akbar Masood sir. Today's speaker, Mr. Zaid Ahmed Ansari Sahab, respected convener, my Guruji, Dr. Anurag Agrawal sir, co-convener, Dr. Gulraj Nizami, Dr. Rajesh Yadav, and respected members of National and International Advisory Committee, dear colleagues, and my dear sincere audience. A very good evening to all of you. I, Dr. Pulkit Agrawal, Organizing Secretary of this International Faculty Development Program, deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on the occasion of completion of 7 days International Faculty Development Program. Dr. Saad Ahmed Khan Sahab, who motivated and supported us in the smooth conduction of International Faculty Development Program. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the 7 national and international guest speakers, as their eminent presence has indeed made this event a memorable one. I also want to thank media persons from Dainik Jagran, Hindustan, Amar Ujala, Uttar Kesari, Circle App, CNN 24 News Channel, ETV News Channel, and especially Syed Amir Mia and Gaurav Jain for covering each and every aspect of this faculty development program. I am also very thankful to the media houses whose name I have not taken. Without their help and cooperation, this would not have been possible. I am also very thankful to all our department heads for remarkable presence and constant motivation. I would indeed be infailing in my duty if I do not express gratitude to our sincere colleagues, our session coordinators and co-organizing secretary, Mr. Intikhab Nadeem Khan and Dr. Shumaila Naeem Khan. Miss Rabia Khan ma'am, our moderator, Miss Brajlali ma'am, Dr. Srimati Jagrati Gupta, and Mr. Divyansh Mishra for the wholehearted support to make this International Faculty Development Program a successful. Last but not the least, I thank you all our department, dear participants. Thank you everyone for taking the time to be here today and all the 7 days. At last, it gives me immense pleasure to announce that in continuation with the faculty development program, we are soon going to organize a national faculty development program with collaboration with Swami Sukhdevanand Postgraduate College, Shahjapur, UP. If God wills, we will be soon mailing you all details with complete brochure. Finally, I leave you with this inspiring quote by Martin Luther King. An individual has not starting living until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concern of all humanity. Once again, I thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pulkit Agarwal, sir. And many congratulations to you and the organizing committee for the successful completion of the program. Over to Ms. Brajlali. Hello.
National anthem, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
this is okay. Are you here? Are you there, Brajlali?
Yes, ma'am, I am here now.
Okay. Over to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all this. Thank you for today's session to all the guests and all the dignitaries. But before ending this session, I would request to please play the India's national song anthem. Please play the anthem. And I'm requesting please stand up in the honor of this national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे
Okay.
Thank you
very
for
much to
playing
all.
this national anthem. Now, I am handing over the session to the Dr. Anurag Agrawal, sir.
सभी लोगों को पुनः बहुत बहुत नमस्कार, धन्यवाद आप लोगों का। आप लोग लगातार जुड़े रहे। स्पीकर बहुत जल्द हम लोग एक प्लान कर रहे हैं, जैसा कि डॉक्टर पुलकित ने भी आपको संकेत दिया कि एक नेशनल एफडीपी आयोजित की जाए जुलाई के मंथ में। इस मंथ की जो एक्टिविटीज और हैं उनमें कुछ इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार कराने का इरादा है। एक इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार कुछ अमेरिकन स्कॉलर्स के साथ में, एक इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार नेपाल और इथोपिया के साथ में, ऐसा हम लोग प्लान कर रहे हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त एक एफडीपी जुलाई मंथ में प्लान की जा रही है। इन सारी चीज़ों की सूचनाएं आपको दी जाएंगी। फीडबैक लिंक खोल दिया गया है, आप लोग आज फीडबैक भर दीजिएगा और विद इन 7 डेज आप सभी को अपने सर्टिफिकेट्स मिल जाएंगे। फीडबैक के बेसिस पर भी कुछ ऐसे पार्टिसिपेंट्स भी हैं जिनके फीडबैक फॉर्म भरे गए हैं लेकिन उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, तो उनको भी हम लोग सर्टिफिकेट देंगे क्योंकि उन्होंने एफडीपी को ज्वाइन किया है, अटेंड किया है, और उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन हम लोग यहाँ स्वयं कर लेंगे। लेकिन आगे से प्रयास करें कि रजिस्ट्रेशन अवश्य होना चाहिए। फीडबैक का लिंक लोग शेयर कर देते हैं तो फीडबैक फॉर्म भरने से पता नहीं लगता वो व्यक्ति रजिस्टर्ड है या नहीं है। और हम लोग जो सर्टिफिकेट भेजेंगे आपको, कोशिश करेंगे उस सर्टिफिकेट के साथ में ही अपना कैलेंडर भेज दें, जो हमारी आगे की सूचनाएं हैं, जो हमारे आगे के प्रोग्राम हैं, उनको डेट वाइज उसी के साथ अटैच करके आपको भेजने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। आप सब लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और पुनः आप लोगों से भेंट होगी जल्दी किसी और प्रोग्राम में। सुमित के साथ सबके साथ विदा लेते हैं। आपका आभार, धन्यवाद, और बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting.
डॉक्टर पुलकित जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Good luck.
No, sir. अच्छा, आप म्यूट हो गए। Yes, sir.
डॉक्टर पुलकित जी, मैं बीच में म्यूट हो गया था। फाइनली आप इन लोगों को एड्रेस करके अपनी तरफ से विदा करना चाहेंगे। डॉक्टर पुलकित जी लॉग आउट हो गए क्या?
Yes, sir. पुलकित सर लेफ्ट हो गए।
पुलकित जी लॉग आउट हो गए हैं। चलिए हम लोग सब लोग विदा लेते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच। गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल। प्लीज लॉग आउट।